IGN has tried their very best to stay relevant within the entertainment space, but they prove time and time again that they are completely out of touch with audiences. IGN has previously given shows like She-Hulk an 8 out of 10 and said that it was great. The Acolyte a 6 out of 10, saying it's okay, but it's got a lot to offer. And now one of their reviewers has given Demon Slayer Hashira's training arc a 3 out of 10, and they are being completely roasted for it. I have a few things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I do not expect any better from outlets like IGN, Kotaku, Polygon. They are almost always out of touch. It doesn't matter which reviewer it is, it doesn't matter how many things they've reviewed, they consistently do not understand what it is that people want to watch and consume. And now, of course, we have them giving Demon Slayer's Hashira training arc a 3 out of 10. They're saying it's slow, it's boring, but it means they do not understand what this arc was all about, which, yes, is the lead up to the grand finale. It was supposed to be a little bit slower, definitely a lot slower than the previous seasons and arcs that we've gotten, because they're trying to get you to actually care about all of the characters that are going into this final battle. And yes, it's not perfect, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it does not deserve something like a 3. It says Demon Slayer's recently concluded Hashira training arc feels very much like a video game, specifically the parts of an RPG where you go around your camp talking to every companion, hoping they say something interesting, knowing that most of them will just spout some generic dialogue and then walk away. It says the adaptation of Demon Slayer has used animation to turn short and otherwise unremarkable events into epic displays of gorgeous visuals. It has become clear that the show is capable of little less. Last season, it was padding the runtime with lengthy fight scenes full of visual effects and erratic camera movements that made it hard to follow the action. And this season, with a conclusion on the horizon, they stretched out the calm before the storm rather than confining it to a short training montage at the beginning of their epic action movie. And yes, it was only a few chapters in the manga, and it is padded, but there are plenty of series that end up padding out, the calm before the storm, because they're trying to get you to care more about the world and all of the characters that are going into the final battle. And if you didn't have something like this going on, you would only care about Tanjiro and Ekuzo, and that's it. And that's not what they want, and that's not what I would want either. Yes, again, it is padded out. It's not perfect by any means, but at the same time, it's giving you so much context and so much backstory, and it's really just trying to familiarize you with the characters. It's like they completely do not understand that. They go on to say the episode devoted to Gyomei, the stone Hashira, at least offers a dramatic flashback, even if the show's use of flashbacks is painfully formulaic and predictable. With Gyu's flashback connects to the first season in an interesting way, bringing back one of the show's earliest tragic characters, Sabito, but the majority of the season is devoted to an endless cycle of training montages between Tanjiro and the Hashira, most of whom remain as one note of their breathing technique. It is supposed to be a training arc for Tanjiro and the Hashira, and again, it's like they completely don't understand that this is like the calm before the storm, that they are trying to get you invested in these characters. And I do agree there could be more with characters like Nezuko, but it had some absolutely amazing visuals, and it's starting with, Muzan finally arriving at the estate in the last episode was obviously a very ominous way to set up for the next and final arc, and it seems like they are putting a lot of time and effort into making sure that this goes as smoothly as possible. And we do know that the final arc is actually going to be a movie trilogy, which I know has been, a little bit controversial, just because, again, people feel like it's going to be completely padded out, but there's only so much padding that they would be able to do, and I do have confidence in them to stick the landing, at least at this point in time, with all of the content that we've seen so far. And now, of course, because IGN decided to only give this a 3 out of 10, their brief description being it sacrifices momentum and depth for an absurdly long and meandering season that should have been a montage, they are getting absolutely roasted for it, and they deserve it. They do not understand what Demon Slayer is all about and really how much this training arc means to people who are, dedicated Demon Slayer fans. Yes, a lot of the general plot points were in the manga and it was padded out a little bit. It's not very surprising to see that they did that. They didn't want to just give you a half hour of content. A 3 from IGN. That is an 8 out of 10. Garbage take as usual, but what can you expect from the same people glorifying the Acolyte? And it's true, even though I posted this collage of them giving different series bad reviews, and even though they are not the same journalist slash reviewer doing the reviews, it's still clear that IGN, time and time again, no matter which activist is behind the review, they are still completely out of touch. It's not like they've got one good person that completely understands what fans want. If you look at something like Forbes and you look at Paul Tassi versus Eric Kane understands the Acolyte is garbage and why people are upset. But on the flip side, they have someone like Paul Tassi just attacking people, saying you're ists and phobes for not liking this great piece of entertainment. We do not have that at IGN. There is no one here who understands what people actually want. People are also saying things like trash take. This arc was important to learn about the different Hashiras and some backstories. I can see where they're coming from. There could have been some upgrades when it comes to the pacing for sure, but it was a vital arc, definitely not a 3 out of 10 though. I think an 8 out of 10 is extremely fair. I don't think it's going to be as good as the, finale as the last arc, but at the same time, it still was good content for people who actually care about Demon Slayer. The pacing could have been better for sure and might not have been their greatest season, but a 3 out of 10, that's crazy. And if we go back to the article for a moment, Raphael here, the one who gave this season of Demon Slayer a 3 out of 10, really doesn't like anime. It seems he gave the recent JJK Season 2 Part 2 a 6 out of 10, which it definitely deserves higher, and he previously said that Demon Slayer Season 3 was only a 5 out of 10, which to me just screams that he does not understand Demon Slayer or what it is all about and all of these characters. He says that it's visually stunning, but it's bogged down by repetitive and overly long fight scenes and a dull story. And in my opinion, Demon Slayer Season 3 was like an 8.5 out of 10. It was fan-freaking-tastic. So, of course, this is just someone who's completely out of touch and really doesn't understand anime at all whatsoever, it seems. So it will be interesting to see if he continues to review Demon Slayer going forward, if after being absolutely annihilated on social media by real fans, if IGN continues to have him review it, especially going into the finale, the movie trilogy. But he clearly doesn't get Demon Slayer. Everybody is roasting him and IGN for it, and of course it just proves that the gaming and entertainment media completely has proven that they are useless. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.